So, ma'am, we can start.
Sure, sir. We're just waiting for Dr. Shalu. Is she here?
Yes, she is with us.
Okay, sir. A very good afternoon to one and all. I take this opportunity on behalf of ICFI Tech to welcome you all on day 2 of the 2-week faculty development program. So we had a wonderful session yesterday by Dr. Kale, and today, as a guest speaker and expert, we have Dr. Shalu Gupta with us. We welcome you, ma'am. Before I hand over the session to ma'am, I would like to briefly introduce her to our faculty members and other participants. So Dr. Shalu Gupta is a distinguished assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science at Guru Kashi University in Bhatinda, Punjab. Her academic journey includes the attainment of a PhD degree from the Department of Computer Science at Assam Don Bosco University, Assam, showcasing her dedication to advancing knowledge in her field. With over 8 years of experience in the realm of teaching and an additional 3 years as a software programmer in the industry, Dr. Gupta brings a wealth of knowledge to her role. Her professional experience includes leadership roles in various projects where she collaborated with teams of 4 to 5 software programmers. She also holds a Master of Technology degree, that is MTech in Computer Science and Engineering from Lovely Professional University, Pagwara, Punjab. Her research interests span a wide array of domains, including image processing, pattern recognition, natural language processing, data science and analytics, and machine learning. Beyond her academic and professional pursuits, Dr. Shalu Gupta actively contributes to societal welfare. She has delivered invited talks on e-waste management and disposal awareness in Punjab, showcasing her commitment to addressing contemporary environmental challenges. Her expertise extends to hands-on experience in data science and machine learning, utilizing programming languages such as Python and MATLAB. Her dedication to research is evident through her participation in numerous national and international conferences and workshops. Additionally, she has also authored over 20 research papers that have been published in prestigious national and international journals of repute, further establishing her as a notable figure in the field of computer science. We are very fortunate of having Dr. Shalu Gupta here with us today for this session. Ma'am, we welcome you, and we would like you to begin with the day 2 of this 2-week-long FTP.
Thank you so much for nice introduction to me. Thank you to the organizations also for inviting me. Now my voice is audible, and may I share the screen also?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Now my screen is visible to each and everyone?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Dear participants, I really want that the session should be interactive. Now we are going to start our session with session 2, data import and pre-processing. Firstly, we will discuss about data. What is data according to you? Participants, I'm asking from you because each and everyone from the field of new technology. That's why I'm asking some questions because I want to make that session interactive and more knowledgeable, transferring of knowledge from each other. That's why. Please tell me, what is data according to you? Participants, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Participants, tell me, what is data?
So data is any form of raw information that is received from any end.
Yes, very
in form of raw information.
Yes. Data is a raw facts and figures, whatever we have, that is a data. Now, after processing, it becomes information, as we know. What type of data we have in general terms? We have a data in mobile phones when we are saving the contact number. That is also a part of data. When we are sending images or uploading the documents to others and sending the documents or saving the documents from other, that is also a part of a data. Now, what are the various data types we have studied here? Data, structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data. Whether you have an idea about that, what is structured, unstructured, and semi-structured? If you have an idea, then tell me, please. Otherwise, I'll explain each and everything according to that, because I want to understand that how the participants are. If they have some knowledge, then we can go fastly. Otherwise, I have to tell you each and everything about that. That's why I am asking, nothing else for that. Now, data are different sources are available. We have a different types of data with us. We have a data in the form of Excel, in the form of CSV file. We have a data in the form of XML. SQL data is there in the form of tables, RDBMS data, we can say that, JSON files, like that. We have a different type, images, audios, text, like that. All these are the various types of data we have. Now, we have to consider three different types of data which is used in machine learning, artificial intelligence, everywhere. First one is structured data. What is structured data? That firstly, data is divided into three parts. Structured data. Structured data is a neatly arranged data, which is arranged into the tables with rows and columns. For example, we have a data in the form of Excel. There is a rows and columns in the form of tables. When we are using SQL, when we are using Access, MS Access, then we are using, meaning that our data is in the form of structure, because some structure or schema is predefined and the entries are to be done according to that schema or structure, and easy to search. If we want to search anything from the data, we can easily put some queries over there, SQL queries over there, and we can extract the information or data, whatever we required from that by structure. If we have a structured data, relational DBMS, spreadsheets, CSV file means that comma separated values are there. We can, what, where we can get a structured data from, where, what are the various sources of these type of data? For example, if we talk about banking data is also a structured data. The information in that data is like name of the customer, account number, type of the account, then deposit, withdraw, whatever transactions are going on in the bank, all the detailed information are there, but that is in the form of structure, because that data is stored in the form of rows and columns, and that is structured data part of a. Now, data warehousing, retail data storage, when we go into any mall, that is also a structured data wherever we are using. When we are using SQL databases or MySQL, Oracle, like that, then that is a structured data. Now, unstructured data. Unstructured data is less organized and doesn't conform to a fixed schema. Data does not follow a predefined model or schema. When there is a no predefined model or no predefined schema is there, then it is called unstructured data. And it can be in the form of text, images, audio files, and video files, or recordings are there. Then it is a variety of data is to be there. But it's complex to analyze this type of data, because it requires natural language processing, image processing, machine learning tools we have to learn. After that, we can organize the unstructured data and we can extract the information which will help us in taking the decision regarding the things. Text document, we can say that emails, reports, social media posts, like that. Media files, images, videos, recordings, and web content like HTML pages, blogs, new articles on the website. All these are the various types of unstructured data. Now, from where we can get? We can get from blogs, new articles, HTML pages we are getting, and feedback from the customers, reviews of the customers, social media posts are there, videos, image recognition, transcription of the audio files. All these are the part of the unstructured data. Now, semi-structured. Semi-structured is data which falls between the structured and unstructured data. Anyone can tell me what is semi-structured? What are the various examples of semi-structured? Please tell me if you have an idea. Yes, participants. Okay, semi-structured. Semi-structured is a loosely organized data. We can say that data which has some organizational properties but does not follow a strict schema. As in the structured data, we have a strict schema and we have to follow to enter the data according to that strict schema, or we can say structure also. But in case of unstructured, there is no schema or no predefined pattern, and semi-structured is a combination of both structured and unstructured data. Schema can evolve over time and allowing the varied data types and structures. For example, XML is the best example for semi-structured data, that is extensible markup language, which is a nested tag, where we use a nested tag, JSON files, JavaScript oriented object notation files, which are used for data interchange. NoSQL databases like MongoDB, Cassandra, all these are the semi-structured database examples. When we are using API responses, configuration of the file, storing and processing of large volumes of varied data, then we are using the semi-structured data over here. Now, data formats. We have a different type of data formats with us. Just a summary of that particular slide. Structured data is that highly organized, easy to find out the queries, easy to find out the answer from that, and used in transactional system, data warehousing, and banking. And unstructured data where no structure is there and different formats are there, where content management, reviews of the users, clients, and summary of the things, that is unstructured data. Semi-structured data meaning that which is a combination loosely organized and flexible schema is there, where we can choose the schema according to our requirement, then it is a semi-structured. Now, data formats. There are different type of data formats which we use generally. CSV file, SQL data, that CSV file. CSV file is what? Please tell me. CSV file, comma separated values, where we have a comma separated values over here, and widely used text format for storing the data in the tabular form. It is easy to read and write in many programming languages. Now, within the next slide, I'll explain it with this. Now you can see over here CSV file. What is the format for that? Okay. JSON files, JavaScript object notation, that is human readable and machine readable format for representing data as key value pairs. It's commonly used for applications and API communication. XML, extensible markup language, which is flexible format for storing where we use tags. HTML is also a hypertext markup language where we use tags. XML is also where we use tags. But the difference between this XML and HTML is, in HTML we have predefined tags, but in XML we have to define the tags by ourselves. Not predefined tags are there in this. XML, extensible markup language, and packet is a columnar storage format for storing the data in a compressed format. One by one, we are just going to discuss XML. XML is a extensible markup language, and JSON is a JavaScript oriented object notation. Both are popular formats for exchanging information between the systems. In extensive XML, you can see here we have created our own tag, that is book, that is not predefined in anywhere in the XML language or HTML, but we are defining over here. Book is a tag, and then this is opening tag, this is a closing tag, and same is over here title. If we want to give the title of the book, then we can use this one, title tag, and opening and closing tag of each are over here. Author tag, who is the author of that book, author tag is also there. Price, if we want to write down the price, then we have to use price tag. Like this, when we have to write down anything, we can create their own tags and we can write down anything within that particular tag, that is XML tag language. Now, Jason, if you have an idea, please tell me any benefit of this particular. What are the advantages of XML? Where we use that? Where we use that? XML. XML is suitable for. complex data where we have a nested components of that, nested elements are there, then we have to use XML. And because tags are self-descriptive and provide the context about the data and used with the strong industry support and various tools are there. Now, next one is JSON. JavaScript object notation is there. In this, we use key value pairs to represent the data. Key value pair is there. This one is key, title, author, then price. Here we have a title of the book, then author, then price is to be there. In JSON files, this is a lightweight and easier to read and write and faster the parsing oftenly. Now, third one is CSV files, that is comma separated values over here, which are used for storing the tabular data. When we have to store the data in the tables format, then we mostly use the CSV files. CSV files are comma separated files, and the files when we open in Excel, that is data should be shown in the form of rows and columns. Suppose that these are the headings of your rows for data: name, age, and email. These are three variables within that particular file, and each variable name is separated by comma. That's why it is called comma separated values. Now another one is also tab separated values. When in place of comma we use tab, that is called tab separated values. Here we are using comma, that's why it is called comma separated values. Firstly, name is to be given, age, then email address of that particular person. After that name, again in the second row, we have a name, age, and email address of the second person. Then again we have like this. We have a data in the form of rows and columns, but CSV files, comma separated files are used for, but other delimiters like semicolons or tabs can also be used within this. It's simple to create, read, and understand. We can easily understand what is this. In this, we have a three columns: name, age, and email, and three rows are there for entering the data. That is a simple to read. It's including spreadsheet programs like Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. We can also use. Minimal overhead is there. Now, next one is Parquet. It's a columnar storage files format designed for efficient data processing and storage, which are developed by Apache. It's part of Hadoop ecosystem and is often used in big data environments for its performance and benefits over traditional row-based storage formats like CSV. In what is the structure for this? This is data is stored column by column rather than row by row. In case of a CSV file, we are storing the data row by row. But in this, the difference between these are this: the data is stored column by column rather than row by row. It allows for most efficient querying and compression of the data. Schema is information ensuring data types and structures are preserved. Compressing of data is to be there. As in example, message schema required int 32 ID, optional binary name, required double salary. This requires efficient storage and fast query performance is there. Now, XML is extensible markup language where we can create our own markups, own tags. JSON is a JavaScript object-oriented, and in this data is stored in a format. CSV files where the comma is used for separating the value from each other. And Parquet is a where the columnar form of data in this. All these are of different types of formats available. Now, next one. Any doubt up to this, you can ask. Data cleaning. How can we clean our data? How can we clean our data? What is the dirty data? If we have a data, what type of problems we have? Please tell me. If we have a data with us, what type of problems we can have within our data? If we have a data with us, what type of problems can we have with us? We have a different types of problems. That is cleaning, meaning that data is not clean, data is not in the proper format. That is also a problem. We have to organize this also. And another one is, someone has given the reply. Unorganized data. Yes, duplicated data may be there. Yes, duplicate data is also there. That is also one of the problem. Yes, another one. No, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, missing values or missing data, data with less information. Yes, that is also a problem for data. Very good. Yes. Now, missing value meaning that, as this is clear, handling the missing values is a critical part of data cleaning. This could involve inputting values based on other data points. Suppose that if we have some values, but some values are missing from the data, then that is also a part of a missing values. Now, inconsistent data, meaning that inconsistent data can arise due to typos. Maybe when we are typing something and we may enter the wrong data, that is also one of the problem, entering the wrong value to that data. And different units of measurement should be we have used, and varying data formats. Suppose that when we are trying to merge the data from suppose that I am in the university and we have a different department and we have a different sections for each class, and when we are merging these data, the data may or may not be merged properly, maybe some error should be there. That's also an inconsistency of data. When we are typing something, maybe there is an error when we are typing that. Outliers meaning that the data points which are significantly different from the other values in the data set, they can skew your analysis. Outliers, suppose that we know that the bachelor's of or 10th students are from 15 to 20 years age, but by mistake we are entering here 35 as a age. That is an outlier because the age of the student for 10th class is between 15 to 20, not more than that. But when we are checking that data and we are getting that 35 is to be entered over there, then it means we are having some problem or we have some wrong value over there. That is an outlier, significantly different from the other values in the data set. In a particular column, we have some specific values, and but some values or one or two values within the data are totally different from that data. Suppose that we are entering the data in the form of string in that particular column, but when we enter that value in a numerical format, that is also a outlier for that data. It's important to identify and handle them properly. Duplicate data. Maybe we have duplicate data. Duplicate data can inflate your sample size and introduce biasness into your analysis. That's why we have to remove the duplicate data from the database. Now, data cleaning. You can see over here within this, we have price, lot size, bedrooms, bathrooms, stories, driveway, restroom, and full. Okay, now within first column, we have two missing values. That is an example of missing values. Now here in bedrooms, we have 3, 2, 3, 2 like that. These values are like that. But here we have a 15, meaning that when we are talking about that, that is called outlier because the other values are between 2 to 3, 2 or 3. Maximum we can go for 4 and 5, but 15 is too much. That is some outlier. It means that there's some outlier value is there, and we have to check that also. After that, we have a driveway. Here you can see yes, no, yes, like that. All the values are like that. But here we have a 7. 7 is not possible because yes or no values are there, Boolean values are there. Then how can the numeric value will be there as a 7? That is not possible. That is called error. Now, how we can handle these values? We can handle these values. How can we handle? Okay, tell me, if we have a missing values, how can we handle these values? If we have some missing values, how can we handle these missing values? Please tell me. If we have these type of problems as we have discussed, if we have a missing values, how can we put the values in place of this? What we can do with that? Yes, replace it by mean. Yes, very good. Paramjit Singh, we can remove that data row or fill average of other data. Yes. We can add sequencing. Yes. By taking average. Yes, yes, very good. Yes, very good. I got the answer. Whatever I want to ask, you have given that answer. All data should be corrected. Yes, I'm asking about that. What type of methods we have to use? You have given the responses. Number of the participants have given the responses for the same is all data by taking average, by taking mean of that value like this. All these are very good. Now handling the missing data. How can firstly deletion, meaning that we can delete the rows and columns which contain missing values and suitable for missing. If it is a small portion of dataset, if suppose that I have a dataset of 10,000 rows, and out of these 10 or 15 rows where the data is missing, then we can delete that data. There is no problem in that. But when we have a large amount of data where we have a missing value, then we can't delete those rows. Then we have to find out the another solution. If the large amount of data is missing, large meaning that we have a large amount of data and more data is missing, then we can't use this method. Imputation meaning that replace the missing values with the mean, median, whatever suitable method is there, we can use for that. We can get the miss or replace the missing value with the existing data. Now, ignore. We have to ignore the values in certain algorithms or steps. This can be effective for models that can handle missing data or for specific analysis tasks. Then we can ignore those rows and columns like that or data values. Categorization meaning that create a new category for missing values and treating them as a unique data point. This can be useful for categorical features or when you have to use, you want to preserve the information about missing data. Then we can use handling the missing data like that, categorization. Now renaming the variables. Renaming the variable meaning that when we have to give the rename to those variables, firstly we have supposed that within this example we have given t1 k sk like that, and now we have to change the name of the variable price. That is easily understandable to us. We have to rename that like that. Outliers, as I already told you, suppose that within this example, we have a student's roll number and numbers and marks, we can say that in maths. We know the exam is of 100 marks. How can a person get more than 100 marks? That is 125. It means that this is an error of outlier type. Outlier is a data point that differs significantly from the other observations. You can see over here 78, 95, 88, 96, and 125. 125 is totally different from the other values. That is a bad data point. the values will be changed in it. Duplicate rows. When we have some duplicate data over here, then we have to remove or delete those rows from the database which are duplicate. Within this example, you can see 0, first record meaning that A height is 5.2 and roll number is 55. Then again A 5.2 and roll number is 55. There is an error, means duplicacy of data. We have to remove that. Then again C, then D, then E. Again repetition in this E. 5.3 is height and 12 is the roll number. Then we have to remove it also because there is a duplication of rows. Someone asked me like how we can collect outlier data. We can collect outlier data. We have to we have to put some queries like that. That value should lie from this value to this value. If that range is, we can use SQL queries for that. We can use SQL queries for that when we are getting the data, and we can check that the value should lie from this range to this. And if that values are beyond that particular starting point and or beyond that particular ending point, if that is greater than, then these are our outlier, and we can use SQL queries for the same also. Is this clear? Who asked me? Paramjit Singh. Data type conversion. Now, data type conversion, depending upon the modeling task at hand and the software, that data may be need to be expressed in the specific categorical data, object data, numerical data, or Boolean type data. Boolean type data meaning that we have a Boolean true or false, yes or no, like type of data. Numeric meaning that where we have just number values are there. Object data where we have a related to the object of the data. Then categories. Categorical meaning that categories are there. Different categories of the data should be there. Continuous indexing is there, then it is called categorical data. Like date, we have to convert the date. Firstly, it is stored in the text string format in SQL varchar max. Now after that, when we have to because there is a string January 1st 2024, after that we are converting this value into the or type, changing the type of data from string to date value, text string to date value. Now I'll discuss some NLP, natural language processing parts. When we are talking about data, then we have to do or we have to analyze the text data also. Because when we talk about feedbacks or sentiments from the customer, we take it as a, and we have to process that data. Then we have to use some natural language processing part is also there for analyzing the data. What is NLP? Please tell me. What is NLP? Where we can use this NLP? Natural language processing. What are the various applications of NLP? Yes. Please tell me. Okay. NLP, natural language processing, when we are using chatbots. Okay, we are using chatbots and we are giving reviews to the companies, customers. Customers are giving reviews to the companies. Then we have to use, for analyzing the reviews of the customers, we have to use NLP. And this text pre-processing part is there. Text pre-processing meaning that we have to pre-process the data. We have to remove the unwanted symbols which are not necessary part of the image text. Then we call it a text pre-processing. Sentiment analysis is also. Now, first one is removing stop words. Stop words meaning that to learn the process faster by getting rid of non-essential words which add little meaning to our statement, are just there to make our statement sound more cohesive. Words such as in removing a word, stopping word meaning that was, in, is, the, and like all these words we have to remove. This is called removing the stop words. For example, we have over here. The stars are twinkling at night. The doesn't play any significant role, or no, at. We have to remove these words and we will get only star twinkling night. Then total how many words are there within this sentence? 6 words are there. But after removing stopping words, we have just 3 words. Then it becomes sure reducing the data, meaning that important data should be there when we have to process the data. That's why in the text pre-processing, we will remove all those words which doesn't have a significant meaning in the sentence and doesn't play a significant or important role in the sentence. We have to remove. Stemming is the process of obtaining word stem of the word. Word stem gives a new words upon adding. Suppose that original word is or basic word is skip. After that, when we are adding ing with this, it becomes skipping, skipped when we are adding ed. And when we are adding s, it becomes skips, meaning that same base word is skip, but we can create a number of words from that. But for a machine, you know that when we are using word, if skip is in capital letters stored, suppose that my name is Shalu. If I stored it in the capital letter SHALU, then it will be okay. If when I enter again SHALU in the small letters, then it will show a red line because every letter, whatever we are typing, that is stored in the word dictionary. As I show you in the example of, I'll take word file. You can see over here. Is this visible to all of you on screen? Word document is visible to you? Okay. I am writing over here Word document where we have to use, suppose that I am writing SHALU. That there is no problem in that. Suppose that I am writing over SHALU, there is no problem. Suppose that I have no name. You can see over here there is a red line, meaning that there is some mistake. And I add. Okay, I'll asking that. Okay, I'll share the screen. If it is not visible, according to me, my whole screen is visible to you. Just a minute. I'll only PPT is visible. Just a minute. I'll share again. Just a minute. Show all windows. Now is this visible Word document? Okay. Now you can see I write down Minisha. That is not stored in the dictionary. There is a red line. If I add this word to dictionary, then if I write down again, it is stored in the dictionary. No. Delete repeater name. Okay. I'll write down in the next line, there is no mistake. But when there is an error, because within the dictionary, when we add this, then that is first letter is capital. But when we are adding it again into the lowercase, then that is not stored in the dictionary. That's why there is a red line. As I told you, that words which are we are using, that is different from each other. That is different from each other. That's why there is a problem and we have to resolve it. Is this clear what I want to tell you? That's why when we are using text pre-processing, we have to use the stemming word over here or lemmatization. Lemmatization is also process of obtaining the root stem of a word. Root stem gives the new base form of a word that is present in the dictionary and from which the word is derived. It will be converted into that. For example, am or is, and we can convert it into the B part. Lower casing is to convert a word in a lower case. When we want to convert a word or text or whole document into the lower case, then we can use lower casing. Why we require lower casing? Because I already told you when we are writing minutia in capital letter and in small letter, that is the two different words for the machine. That's why we have to convert the whole text whether into lowercase or in the uppercase, whatever is suitable for us, we can use. But we have to convert the whole text because when we are going to count the variable, and then it will take it two different words. If that is one is the in the capital letter and second one is in the lowercase. That's why we have to convert whole text into the lowercase. Now, to categorize the text as good, sentimental analysis. What is that? As you have already known about that, sentimental analysis meaning that we have to analyze the sentiments of the customer, like good, harmful, neutral, or excellent. When we are expressing our things, our thoughts like that, then that is an analysis of sentiments. What are the thinking of the user? About the thinking about our products of the user or customer, then we have to analyze the sentiments of them. For that purpose we use sentimental analysis, because nowadays the sentiments are expressed through the, just a minute, I have a call, please wait for 5 minutes, just.
Dear participant, there is a small announcement. We are sharing the feedback form and quiz for all the sessions, which are mandatory for each session. So please submit these quiz and feedback form for each session. And madam has taken a very small break. We are sharing.
Now I'll continue. Yes. Okay, now we will start our sentimental analysis. After that, feature engineering. What is feature engineering? Please tell me. What is feature engineering? Sorry for discontinuity. What is feature engineering? What is feature engineering? What is feature engineering? Please tell me. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am,
Participants,
you are
can
audible.
Okay. Yes, work on features or characteristics. That is also part of a feature engineering. Feature engineering meaning that when we are creating new features or modifying the existing features to improve the performance of a machine learned model, that is a part of a feature engineering. This process is crucial as the quality and relevance of the features used significantly for models accuracy. When we are deciding, suppose that we are talking about some image, then there are some features and we have to extract those features. On the basis of these features we can recognize the things. For that is a part. For example, date features are there. Within date features, what type of features we have? Day, month, year, day of the week, or hour of the particular day. Then it is a daytime features. Text features like that. Length of the text, number of the words within the text, number of specific words, or repetition of that word, that is a feature of the text. Interaction features like that, creating the interaction terms between the features, that is the interaction features. Now we have a feature selection. Now we have a number of features. Suppose that within a table of the student, university student, we have a roll number, we have a name, we have a father's name, Aadhaar card number, PAN number, bank account number, like that. A number of informations we have a data, but we have to select from that those features which one is the best or suitable for us. For what purpose we require these features? That process is called feature selection. For what purpose we require that, and the to particular work or to take the decision, that is a feature selection process. This process is to identify and select the most important features that contribute the most to the predictive power of the model. These steps helps in reducing the overfitting, improving the model performance, and reducing computational cost. That is a part of a feature selection. For this, we can use various methods, statistical method or machine learning model side, wrapper method or embedded method we can use for feature selection. Now, feature transformation, meaning that modifying the existing features to improve their distribution to the relationship with the target features, involves modifying the features to make them more suitable for modeling. And include transformation includes scaling to increase or decrease the size or to normalize the data or encode the data, and many more are there. Scaling is to standardize features by removing the mean and scales to unit variance. Scaling features to range from 0 to 1 and coding categorical variables like that. All these are the features. Transformation, feature creation. Now, generating new features from the existing data may capture additional information which is useful for the model. That is meaning that to create features, polynomial features or domain specific features, creating polynomial terms for existing features, and creating features based on domain knowledge. That is a part of the feature engineering. Feature engineering is to enhance the features to improve the model performance, selection, identifying and selecting the most relevant features, transformation meaning that modifying the features to make them more suitable for modeling. And feature creation is to create new features from the existing data for more suitability. That is a part of a feature selection. Now, data normalization. Data normalization. What is the meaning of normalization in general terms? What is the meaning of normalization? What is the meaning of normalization? Yes. Normalization. Slides not moving. No. Slides are not ignored. Now, next slide is data normalization. Whether that is visible. Yes, transferring the data to normal distribution means 0 or 1 variance. Okay, thank you. Yes, that is visible. Data normalization slide. Okay. Data normalization is the pre-processing technique which is used to scale the features of a dataset to a standard range or distribution. This process is essential for many machine learning algorithms, which perform better when the numerical features are on a similar scale. Normalization helps to avoid issues such as numerical instability and improves the convergence rate of gradient based optimization algorithms. What is data normalization? Data normalization means that we have to pre-process the techniques and scale the features of dataset of a standard range or distribution. That is normalization. Why we require normalization? Please tell me. Why we require normalization? We require normalization for the purpose of improving the performance. Wherever, whatever algorithms we are using, we require this for improving the performance, faster the convergence, and fair comparison. That's why we have to normalize our data. The various different techniques are available for that. Normalization, scaling your data within 0 to 1, and standardization, meaning that Z-score we use over center the data to have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. The values lie between that. Mean scale, max scaling, meaning that scales the data to a fixed range, usually 0 to 1. And max app scaling, meaning that scales each feature by its maximum absolute value. Yes, you're right, Rishabh Sharma. Helps to reduce redundancy, complexity by examining new data types used in the table. Yes. Now, dimensionality reduction. Dimensionality reduction means the dimension, the data we have, to reduce the number of features or dimensions in a dataset while retraining the as much relevant information as possible. What is that? Dimensionality reduction is a crucial pre-processing step in machine learning and data analysis, where the goal is to reduce the number of features or dimensions in a dataset while retaining as much relevant information as possible. This process can help improve model performance, reduce computational cost, mitigate the curse of dimensionality like that. That is dimensionality reduction, meaning that we have to resize the data or reduce the size of the data. Why we require dimensionality reduction? We require dimensionality reduction for improving the performance, for visualizing the more data, for noise reduction, and for storage and computational efficiency. Now, first one is, as we have discussed, PCA, principal component analysis. Whether anyone have an idea about PCA, principal component analysis? PCA. Okay. Principal component analysis is a statistical technique which transforms the data into a set of orthogonal components, which are linear combination of original features, components by the variance, amount of variance they capture from the data. That is the principal lower dimensional space, while retaining as much as we can. Linear discriminant analysis is a supervised dimensionality reduction, where we have to check supervised. When we talk about supervised machine learning tools or techniques, then we have a, as our teachers guide us how to do that work, and they have a check over there whether we are doing like that or not. That is also a part of a supervised technique, in which there are linear combination of features that best separate two or more classes. It maximizes the ratio between the class variance to the within the class variance. Then T distributed neighboring embedding, TSNE. That is a non-linear dimensionality reduction technique, which is used or particularly effective for visualizing high-dimensional data in 2 or 3 dimensions. It minimizes the divergence between two distributions. Now, exploratory data analysis. What is that? Exploratory data analysis we can use is a crucial step in data science. Exploratory data analysis is step in which data science process and evolves the investigating data sets to summarize the three main characteristics, visual methods we use over here. Histograms, scatter plots, and box plots, whatever we want to represent or visualize the data, we can use for exploratory data analysis. For data cleaning, we have a different methods. Now we are going to discuss about preprocessing. Data preprocessing involves data cleaning, data transformation, reduction of data, or dimensional reduction. Whatever we have discussed within today's PPT's presentation, all these are the part of the data preprocessing pipelines. Now we will do the practical. As you have done practical of MATLAB yesterday also, now today we are going to discuss about how to import the data when we have a CSV files, and if we have a text data, then how can import and how can we use that data. Now we are going to discuss. Someone asked me some other question, like just that more meeting. Dimensionality reduction. Okay. Just check the time. 3 o'clock. I 1 hour already spent on PPT. That's why I have passed previous slides. Okay. Dimensionality reduction techniques. We are going to discuss. Dimensionality reduction. Dimensionality, what is the meaning of dimensionality reduction? Means we have to reduce the dimensions of the data. We have to use some techniques which will help us in reducing that data. For example, PCA, principal component analysis, we can use for that, which is transforming the data into a set of components where are linear combinations of. For example, we have a linear combinations of that data, then we can use the principal component analysis. Linear combination means that we have a different type of data, and that there is a combination, there is a cluster of that particular type of data. Then we can reduce that data from, suppose that we have a different classes in the university, in the department. We have a number of departments and number of classes are there, number of courses are there. In each course, we have a number of students. Then we can reduce that data by taking their sample from that data, which will more helpful for us. Identify the principal feature, which is more important. Suppose that we have a lot of data for the students, but we require just 2-3 values that is sufficient for taking the decision. Then we have to reduce like that, and we have to take only those particular value columns values which plays a significant role in our work. That is a part of this. Is this clear? Someone asked me about that. Okay, now may I continue to the practical part? Okay. Now we are going to. MATLAB screen is visible to you? Now this screen is visible to you? Okay. I am using online version of MATLAB. Okay, here because it is one of the heaviest software for the machine. That's why I'm using online version of that. Whether you aware, all of you are aware about that, how to use that MATLAB? Okay. All the work, whatever we are doing in the online mode, that is stored in the your Google Drive, wherever you have linked with that. Now suppose that I have a number of files over here and I want to add some more files over here. Just right click on that, upload files. If I want to add files from the desktop or from the drives, C drive, D drive, like that, then we have to just right click on that and we can upload the files over here. Upload files. Suppose that I want to add some file, then we can use over here. Okay, now from the first point, we are going to discuss about each and everything. Suppose that I have a text file and I want to read text files from here. Now I'll show you that file. I have a text file that is first determiners. Determiners are words like that. Text file is this. Now how we can pre-process the data from there. I'll show you text data, file read. If I want to read a text file, just I have to write down file read, then the name of the file, that is first.txt. I have to copy from here the name of the rename, and I can copy over here. Just copy it and paste over here, and we can get a first.txt name and then display text data. Now the output is whatever data we have. Firstly, we have to save the file. After that, it will execute. You can see text preprocessing. Now that file is read by the machine and all the components, whatever we have within the file, that is displayed by using the display text data over here. After that, as in pre-processing, we have done tokenization. What is the meaning of tokenization? Whether you have an idea about that? Tokenization. Suppose that we have a file. Now determiner is one token, second token, third token. The space between the words are also token. This is the basic part of the programming. Token meaning that number of words, characters, or number of symbols we have. Divide the text into let me. Yes, that is a tokens. Now you can see when we execute this, documents tokenized document. Number of tokens are there. You can see here we have a totally 233 determiners. Comma is also a token for a machine. Now, if I want to convert this into the lowercase, you can see over here determiner D capital over here. When we want to convert our text into the lowercase, then we have to just write down lower. Then the text will be converted into lowercase. Now your documents becomes in the lowercase determiners. Determiners are in the lowercase. Before that, it is in the capital letters. After that, if I want to remove the punctuation marks, because now you can see totally 233 tokens are there. When I remove the punctuation marks are your comma, double quotes, full stop, like that. All these are the punctuations. Now I remove that. You can see over here. Only 145 tokens will be there because all the commas are removed, full stops are removed from this.
Dr. Shalu
Yes.
ma'am,
Yes, sir.
can you please increase the font size?
Yeah, sure, sir. That is not visible, sir.
Please click on the home page. Click on home.
Okay, okay.
Pre-references. Pre-references on the right side top. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Then on the left hand side, you can see the font. No.
That is not here. Not in the preferences. Appearance. Fonts.
Yes. Also from the lower place, there is one more option. Yes, from this place. 18, 18.
I think 18
Okay,
is superior.
apply and okay. Apply and okay.
No, this is too much big.
Fine, ma'am. Fine.
Now, is this visible to all of you? That size is too big. Okay. Text data. Now, firstly, is this clear? Whatever I have told you before that in the programming, or explain it again? Whether I explain it again or it's okay? Okay. Now, if we remove the punctuation marks, documents erase punctuation, meaning that we are removing the punctuation marks. You can see over here. When we remove commas like that, then our tokens reduced. Now the tokens will be, firstly it is at 233. After removing the punctuation mark, it will become 145, meaning that we are also reducing the data over here for machine. After that, if we want to remove stop words, what is the meaning of stop words? What is the meaning of stop words? We have already discussed within the presentation. Stop words. What are the various stop words we have within these sentences? Yes, is, am, are, was, were, like that. All these are the stop words. If we want to remove these stop words, then we have to use just remove stop words and display. If we remove the stop words, meaning that are, as, the, my, then our text will remain only. Firstly, we have 233 words. After removing the punctuation marks, we will get 142. After removing the stop words, we will get a 62 as a tokens. Now, if there are some words, normalize the words. You can see after normalization what we will get. Here we have a determiners words. We have a s, basic word is determiner, and with this we have a s that is removed from that word. Actual word or original word or base word we will get after this. After lemma, determiner words, like that we will get that. Now bag of words, how many words we have? We have to check what type of words we have. That is called bag of words. Now you can see the result is we have totally determiners words, like that. We have only these words, and total number of words we have 32. Number of documents, only one document is there. That's why one. And now we can check how many times determiner words will be there. Frequency of words, we can say that. How frequently that particular word is there. Suppose that top top K words meaning that which are mostly repeated. We can see over here, determiner is repeated 10 times, few is repeated 4 times, little is repeated 4 times, etc. is repeated 4 times, 20 times, like that. 20 is repeated 3 times. We can see over here within the text, 1, 2, determiner 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 3, 6 times, 7, 8, 9, and 10 times we have a determiner word. That is over here. How many times each word is repeated? That is a counting the words. Few is repeated 4 times, like that. Any doubt up to this? If you have any query regarding anything, you can ask. Because before that it's not visible to you, the font is not visible to you. That's why please tell me if anything you want to ask, you can ask, please, because we are going to give the overview about the coding part. Okay, I'll continue with other things. Now this one is the part of the text, whatever we have done within the text document, that is shown over here. Now if I want to import the other files, other type of files, like CSV file, suppose that I have within this CSV file, you can see over here, employee.csv, employee name.csv. No. If I have to import the CSV file, because that is in the form of data equals to read table. When I want that, just because sometimes we forget that what command we are using over here. Suppose that I have just remember that read. Now I read table. This one is a command. I have to just space and tab key over here. After that, I have to write down the name of the file. Name of the file, suppose that this one I want to read. I have to rename this and copy the name of this file. Because when we are writing, maybe sometimes mistake chance will be there, and we have to now data is equals to read. Now I want to display data. You can see the whole data will be here. I'll show you the file. I have a CSV file. Employee, what type of data we have? We have ID, job title, email address, employee last name, first name, gender, department, salary, address, age. Meaning that we have a 10 columns for that. Up to J we have, meaning that we have a 10 columns for that particular data. And number of rows are there for data. When we have written over here, you can see the data will be displayed over here. The whole data is there. If I write down over here, head. Just some values are there. Just to some values are shown over here when we are using head. You can see over here as an output, some values are here. After that. Now I want to check the size of data. Display the size of data. Size of Now it means 1700 rows are there and 10 columns are there. We can see over here how many rows we have within data. You can see we have a 1700 first row is for heading of the data. That's why 1700 rows are there and totally up to J column we have, meaning that 10 columns are there. That is shown as a size of the data. After that, if we want to display the summary of data, meaning that structure is one by one we are using over here. Basic information about the data set. If I want to get a missing data summary now, what we have to do, we have to find out the missing data summary over here. Then data is variable equals to is missing. You can see here we have a no missing data in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and up to seventh column there is no missing data. In the eighth column we have a missing data, meaning that in the this column, H column, that is your eighth column. Now you can see over here, this one, this. In the how many missing values are there within this? 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have a 4 missing values over here, and in this last column we have a 2 missing values. Okay, in this that will be displayed by using the missing data, and we have to use is missing some of these. How many rows we have a missing in particular column. Now, what can we do? We can remove the missing values. That is one of the solution. We can remove the rows with any missing values. Suppose that within this we have just 6 rows to delete, then we can remove the rows. Now, if we have taken a variable data cleaned is equals to missing of now you can see display data. I show you through this Excel, this variable. We can check the variable value by using this. And you can see now we have a how many rows with us? 1694, because 6 rows have a missing values. That's why those particular rows are removed from the data. And we have a 10 columns. 10 columns remain same because in this we are removing the missing rows. Row missing, we are using function. That's why the rows which have missed values that are removed from the database, from the variable, that is your data cleaned variable. Now, if I want to remove the data from the columns, then I have to use over here now you can see the columns where we have a missing data cleaned, we have to remove the missing columns. Then we have to use this command for the same. You can see over here, firstly we have a 10 columns. Now within this variable we have a 8 columns, because the column where we have a missing value, that is your age and salary, that is not now the part of this particular variable. Age and salary, age is your 10th column and salary is your 8th column, and 9th column is address, that is moved towards the left hand side after removing the Now, we can remove the missing values by using the rows. If we want to remove the rows, that but if we have a large amount of data with us and a little bit values which are missing, then we can remove that particular row, not a column. Column is not suitable to delete, but this is also a part of our data. So in some cases, maybe in rare cases, we have to remove the column for that also. That's why this technique is here, to remove the column from the data. Suppose that if I want to fill the missing values by the previous values, suppose that if I'm not using this command, if I'm not using this command, not removing the columns, you can see only rows are removed from this. Okay, if I'm not, now if I want to put the values of a data which are in the previous data filled with values. Now I take the variable name is data filled with values of the variables fill missing values. Fill missing entries by the, what is the first argument of that? By the previous. By using previous, we can put the values of the, I'll show you. You can see over here, next very, I have to close this. What is a variable name? Data field. You can see, firstly, we will check the values where that is missing. You can see in the A's column, we have a missing values at a 10th row and 11th row. Before that, we have a 25 as a value. Previous value is 25. You can see 25. Now 10th, where we have a missing value, that is also filled with the 25. Okay. Firstly, it is now in this column we have a no value female marketing 12th row and 13th. You can see over here we have the values like 20,105, whatever value, because we are using over here previous value, whatever value we have in the previous row, that value will be entered over here. And in the, if we have a 2-3 rows in group, because in the previous row we don't have value, then it will check the, take the next row value over there. Now I'll explain about the outlier. Outliers. What is the meaning of outliers for that? Okay. Someone is asked if the data is missed from the first row, then how? Yes, sir, something is.
Shalom, ma'am, there is one question.
Yes, sir, I'm reading that one. Ma'am, if the data is missed from the first row, then how this command works? Or we will have to change the command. Now, we will do that also. Suppose that we have employee data and we have a, you want to ask that if suppose that in the first row I have a no age, like in this we have a 29, but it knows there. Then I'll show you that with the program. Employee data, suppose that in this, your question is like that. If I have to save this data without that, okay? This one is your question. Now I am uploading another file where we have a employee one, and where we just right click on that. In upload files, employee one. Now I am going to read employee. The variable name is now data one. That is not fill. For this, we have to use next command. Here we have a next command in place of a previous because there is no value for that. You can see over here, we can put over here next. Okay, as we use over there previous, and if we have no value, then we can use over here next command. You can get 27 when we are using previous, meaning that previous value, whatever value we have in the previous row, that will be put over here. When we are using next, then the next value of that particular row will be put over here. Is this clear now? Someone asked me so for the same. Paramjit Singh, is this clear now? Please tell me. When we have a data missing in the first row, then we can use next over here because we have a number of options over there. Yes, in case the last row, then we can use previous. If we are talking about first and last, in the case of first, we can use next. And if we are using the last, then we can use a previous. Previous value will be got over there in that case. Is this clear? How can we enter the previous value or next values? We have a different methods over here for these things. Suppose that I have done with this particular, if we have a values in the array like that, we can use this one. So previous, next, I'll show you. we have some values like this. If we want to do fill missing values, okay, I'll check that. Audio is not a. Just- But okay, I'm audible.
Ma'am, please, in the F statement, I think there must be zero after constant.
After,
In the seventh line, F statement, yeah, after constant, there should be, I think, zero only.
no, I'll explain. I'll just. There should be a zero,
Yes, ma'am.
but I have executed this like that also. That will be executing the same value because I have do this one also. The same is working at that time.
Uh,
I'll check that. Just
Madam, you did not change the assignment variable. In the above statement, you have F, and in the line number 5 is also F.
But we are changing the values of f. No problem is there in that. I show you each and everything. So please wait for it. Wait. Yes, we have executed this one. Firstly, we have assigned a value to a variable a is equals to 1, 3, 3 null value is there, some null values is there. Then we
Yeah.
are putting over here previous, meaning that previous value
Okay.
for that is, for this is 3. For this, that is replaced with 3. After that, for this previous value is 4. That is also replaced with 4 over here. You can see within a, we have a 7 values, 1, 3, null value is there, none, meaning that, then 4, then again null values are there, then 5. When we are using previous, it means that it will show the previous value 3. That as I show in the example also, 3 will be here, and for this previous value is 4. 4 is shown over here, and for this 4 is also a previous value. That's why it will be here when we are using previous. And when we are using a is equals to like this, I am again initializing a variable with 1 null values for the second row, and first within first row second column we have a null value, and in the second row first column we have a null value. A is again initialized with that. After that, when I am using over here previous, then you can see over here, here we have a 0. Not a explained because there is a no previous value. As I already told you, when we are using previous and in the first row, when there is no previous value, then that value remains same, meaning that NaN value should be there. For handling this type of problem, we can use over here constant values. For the first value, filling fill missing a is a data where we have stored these values. Then after that, constant meaning that we are passing some constant value to those 100 and 1000 that will be stored over here. As in the previous case, we have used next over here. We can use 100, meaning that we are providing the constant value to two variable when we have a two missing values over here. That's why I have used over here constant 100 and 1000. Now within this a variable, again I am initializing a variable with the matrix like these values are there. We have these values with us, and after that we are using linear and to and end values. You can see over here we have a missing values in a, then we have some linear values from 2 to end values, meaning that up to 9 we can have any value over here as a nearest value. For example, within this we have a 5, and nearest value of this is 3, and 5 nearest value is 4. 7 and 9 nearest value is 8. 9, and after that there is no variable, then 9 will be here. Firstly, we have a blank, there is no value, and nearest value is only 5. Then these values are replaced with 5. After that, here we have a 3 on the left hand side and 5 on the right hand side. Then in between value, meaning that nearest value, that is 4. And after that, 7 and 9, the nearest value is 8. After that, we have only 9 with us and no value after that. That's why that 9 will be here. Like that, we have a number of values over there. Is this clear? Whatever values we have is the not compulsory nearest value will be displayed over here. Now, is there any question or any query up to this? Because now time is near to completion. That's why. Please tell me. Yeah, sure. Linear value, meaning that linear scale is there. Linear scale in the sense we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up to that. You can see over here the values where what we have in this. These are the 1 from 1 to 9. All the values which are replaced with these values, these missing within the 1 to 9 scale. what is the meaning of linear? You are wanting to ask, because here we have options, number of options are there when we are using fill. We have a method linear over here. Linear meaning that the values lies between the scale. Is this now? Ask me anything else. Yes. Okay. Now it's over from my side. Any query?
Dear participant, if you have any question, please you can unmute your mic. You are permitted to unmute and put your query to the speaker. Any question, please?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Uh, First of all, good afternoon, sir. And my ma'am, please open the last line of the code.
Yeah, sure. Just now, is this visible?
Yes, ma'am. Please open the last line.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, ma'am. After linear, you put there comma two, then comma, then end values. So, what is the meaning of this? Why we are putting here two and end values?
Two and values. Okay. Okay. Firstly, I'll show you how we can write down this. Okay. If I remove all these lines, suppose that I remove this one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll show. Because when we have a query like that, we have to, for the clarity of the purpose, we have to remove all the options, whatever we have inserted over here. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I am thinking. Now, we can see over here, we have some value like that. In this, we have these values. Okay, after that, if we are not using two and values, then there is some difference. You can see over here in the first value, in the column, how many columns we have within this? How many columns we have within this?
10 columns.
It's a 10 column.
10 columns. Now, what are the values we are having here? If we are not using two, just where we have not getting that values, please tell me. We are not getting values over here in the first row and in the first column, in the starting of the columns, you can see. We are not getting the values of over here. May reduce the size of the font, then it is more visible. Just yes. Should be. Now, what is the difference before that and after that? When we are using only linear, what is the difference? What you feel that? What is the difference over here? But
Entries in first columns are not filling.
yes, first column and another thing is there
In last also.
in last also. Okay, now if we are using we are having no full parameters over here. Two meaning that it will operate. Just a minute, I'll put over here one. I'll show you. You can see the difference if we are putting 1 and if we are putting 2 over here. What you realize that? When
Okay,
I
ma'am,
put,
got it.
you got it?
Whenever we are putting 2 here, so it takes the average of nearest 2 elements.
Yes. And it
And
will be in the form of numbers in the integer format. You can see over there, the difference is that when we are using 1 over here, then we are getting the values in the form of float. And when we are using 2 over here, then we are getting the value in the form of integer also. Yes. Okay.
okay, ma'am, got it.
Now it's over from my side. Any other query, any other question? Paramji sir, you can contact me for that. If you have any type of query or you are doing some work on that, you can contact with me. Anyone else who wants to do some work in the image processing or in the data analysis, we can do work also on that.
Okay, ma'am, sure. I will contact you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your nice presentation. Dr. Surbi, ma'am, are you there?
No, sir, he's not available, I think.
Not available?
He is not available.
Okay. Thank you to all. And ma'am, your content are very informative, knowledgeable for data science, image processing, data analytic, statistical analysis, how we can import the data in MATLAB and then how we can manipulate them. So this is really very informative to all the participants. I hope that the who are attending this session will be very helpful to all the participants. And the feedback form as well as the quiz has been shared in the chat box as well as on the WhatsApp group. So please submit all these by today evening as soon as possible. Tomorrow we will start the third session at the same time. Once again, thank you to all to join the session.
Thank you, Dr. Meher. And on behalf of all the participants, I would like to thank Dr. Shalu Gupta as well. And it has been a
Thank you
very,
so much. Now I am leaving the meeting. Thank you.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I request all the participants to please join at the same time tomorrow. And please fill in the feedback and the quiz forms at the earliest. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Meher.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you to all the participants.